Secrets, if you really look at yourself, you would be speechless. What happened to being doctors and teachers? What happened to being...
Activate. Yo, this is Ludacris.
What's going on? This is Drake.
It's Tiger Young Money Zone.
It's your boy Wiz Khalifa, man.
This is Big Sean.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Kanye West.
It's Jay-Z.
Yo, this is your boy Weezy.
You're in the mix with the DJ always banging the real hip-hop. DJ
BandClap.
You're in the mix with the DJ always banging the real hip-hop. DJ
BandClap.
Okay, challenge. Leave your phone unlocked and right side up. Walk out the room without throwing your bitch off balance. It's either on or off, ain't no in between when it's valid. I seem to want to talk more and more about what really matters. I've seen my aura hop out my torso and hit her backwards. Flip watching you skip down my corridor, fuck a ballad. Don't need shit on the side no more, I just know fuck a salad. I often have awesome thoughts of tossing this softer palate. So when we fall, any wall, any stall, any crawl, any pause, any scar, any tar, any dog, we'll dissolve, kill them all, build a bear, build them all, build it where it won't fall, give it all, yeah. Don't wear any draws, any bra, any more, in it raw, I'm in all, I'm involved, coming law, coming on stomach wall. Kermit frog, jump up, London fog.
Tell me all your names, baby. Tell me all your names, I need to know. Then I'll tell you mine, baby. Then I'll tell you mine, and we can go to pass the time. Shift paradigms, align our bodies with the sky till I am yours and you are mine. I'll do anything for you. Yeah, I'll do anything for you. Baby, just say the word. You give me perfect sense, so God cannot resist now. I can feel the urge, just like defense. And my expense, allow my body to ascend along with yours. I love condense. Close my eyes and raise my ladder. Swing my hips as if they bear the rings of Mama Saturn. Stretch my vertebrae so we can climb it like a ladder. And step into our
D-Wall and Clark, they tell me to go deep. Yelling at me continuously, I can see your defense mechanism is my decision. Knock these walls down, that's my religion. Wall feeling like they ready to close in. I suffocate, then catch my second wind. I resonate in these walls. I don't know how long I could wait in these walls. I've been on the streets too long. Looking at you from the outside in, they sing the same old song about how they was all proof to clean this. I beg to differ, I must have missed them. I'm not involved, I'd rather diss them. I'd rather call on you, put your wall up.
Close my eyes and raise my ladder. Swing my hips as if they bear the rings of Mama Saturn. Stretch my vertebrae so we can climb it like a ladder. And step into our we do not exist, no. We do not exist in error. I try to reminisce so I try to reminisce so I can feel, so I can sell through parallel, so I can leave and then resurface on a dot that's blue and pale. If we can let this thing flow, take care of our needs, so we can let our leaves grow, feed it to the people. Then we as a people say goodbye to ego. That's when love evolves into unknowns and infinites. We never thought it'd go. Close my eyes and raise my ladder. Swing my hips as if they bear the rings of Mama Saturn. Stretch my vertebrae so we can climb it like a ladder. And step into our close my eyes and raise my ladder. Swing my hips as if they bear the rings of Mama Saturn. Stretch my vertebrae so we can climb it like a ladder. And step into our
Come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar, baby. Come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar. Come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar, baby. Come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar.
Yo, what is poppin'? Before the video starts, I just want to let you all know that I give readings, just like the ones that you see every Monday on my channel. I give on-point or esoteric card readings for singles and also for couples. I also do natal chart consultations. My Everything is Everything reading is by far my bestseller. If you want to check out any of these services, please visit my website at www.bandclaptv.com. So again, if you want to check these things out, go to my website, www.bandclaptv.com. All right, on with the
The reason why people have no sense of spirituality, God, love, the things that's gonna like the ingredients in a relationship that actually make it last. It's all about superficialness. Like, you know what I mean? It don't matter how jacked up my girlfriend is, as long as she got a fat butt, nice waist, small little stomach, you know, big boobs, cute face. You know, I don't care what's going on in her head, you know, what trauma she done been through. None of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? As long as she's my little trophy wife that people can see, I'm good. And then on the other side, you got it with the sisters. They want the bread. You know, they want bread, they want the money, they want the bragging rights, they want the swag and all that kind of stuff. And then where does
They
love
want the
come out?
roughneck and they want the money. They want the roughneck and the money.
Yeah. So like in this, like I'm saying, it's like that's atheistic, it's heathenistic, you know what I'm saying? It's capitalistic, you know what I'm saying? So it's like those type of mindsets created the space online that you see now, like the Kevin Samuels, the Cynthia G's, the toxic females, the toxic males, talking points that you see online. It's created by these isms that you see online right now. It's not necessarily you know, oh, Kevin was a bad person. No, he was a capitalist at the end of the day. Yeah. So when you get on here, like for example, there's many things I could have done to have this channel where I have every time I go live, I can have 100 people in here. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Could have been there, but the thing is, I didn't come on YouTube for the clout. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because people are here, they're doing some of the most atrocious shit. Like there's a woman that you know I'm friends with on here that you know has a sobriety channel. She struggles with drug addictions and whatnot, and it's people online that's trying to like push her over the edge. They they're getting views based upon their abuse of this person that's trying to just clean their life up. You know what I mean? And their bad behavior is rewarded. Like, and people get on here and they, like, see, this is one of the things about this whole thing about the gender war, right? There's people that get on here, they understand they had good relationships. They may have had one or two bad things happen to them in their life from the opposite sex and whatnot. But they don't, the thing is, they get on here and then they start finding a niche in like these sectors where it's about toxic masculinity, toxic femininity, you know what I'm saying? And have these goofy talking points that get online. And there's so many people online that's suffering. People are in pain and shit. There's so many people that's in pain, that's traumatized, and all that stuff. Like, as a matter of fact, like a girl I was telling about earlier, like she's light skinned, so you know there's women that's online that are dark complected, and they get online and say, "Oh, she's a colorist with no evidence," right? And the whole thing is that's just to gas up a group of people that's already traumatized from their experience, from their experiences in life. To gas them up, they go attack somebody that they feel like is the epitome of their misery. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I like that.
It's light skin. Yeah, like
epitome of the misery. I like that.
Yeah.
Trigger bonding.
Yeah, a trigger bond, and then it's a form of dark magic witchcraft, because what they're doing is it's sorcery. So what you're doing is you're using people's pain, and they become automatons. They become robots to do the bidding of this sorceress or sorcerer. You know what I'm saying? Based upon
they feed off of that energy like a vampire. Yeah. They love it. This is how they survive. Succubuses, incubuses, remember we was talking about that? Yeah. They survive off this type of energy. It's crazy, man. It's a lot of shit out here. I'm getting ready to train to do DCPD, and they tell you about this. They tell you that when you bring, like I've said this before, I'm not really supposed to be talking about it, but there are entities out here that when they murder, they'll let you know. They got to make sure they can see if they have a soul or not. So that already lets you know if the DCPD know that, if the police departments know that there are entities out here that don't have a soul. You gotta know what you're sleeping with, who you're talking to, who you having kids with, man. You gotta do your research and know.
Now it's funny, brother, what's your name?
Octavius Primes.
Yeah. So, brother Prime, I remember you was saying something about you was talking about spirituality. You was like, you know, when it comes to dating and relationships, a lot of it is about materialism, and there's no spiritual component. You know.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, there is a spiritual type of component in a way, but that spiritual component has been oversaturated and looked at as negative as well. So when you think about the spiritual component of it, you know, you think about the witch side of YouTube, like your Ashira the Star Goddesses, and you know, and your you know, people like that who talk about love spells and you know, different things in that regard. So it's like when you look at relationships in the material side of things is demonized, and then when you try to add the spiritual component, that's also looked at as negative, you know.
That's what and then homosexuality and all that comes into play.
Yeah. So I like what you said when you was talking about the thing with Kevin, because my gripe with Kevin is the whole philosophy, and it's not just with him, because his whole thing was just about, look, this is what works, and if you want this, then you got to do this because this is what works. But my question is this. When are we going to stop being in the shadow of white America when it comes to this stuff? And when are we going to start, you know, operating in our true identity and create systems to where that true identity can have the same merit as the structure that we're trying to get? That's my question.
Oh yeah, that's why they're doing this. It's all about design. We don't come from an African base from like before Christianity. This is what I've been trying to study: pre-colonial Africa, before it was colonized by the Christianity and the Islam. We don't even have a spiritual base of where to begin love and relationships. We don't know who we are, where we come from. So it's all just the highest order of confusion, you know. So I feel you with that. I feel you.
Well, what the thing is, the solution to that, because like when I talk to the different races of people, and I'll say that this gender war is transcended just black people at this point. It's bigger than it's a worldwide thing. But see, you gotta understand that it has to deal with commercialism of what's been sold to a person's mental and mind about what is good, what is paradise, and what is the utopic lifestyle that they can live, right? So like if like I should, like, my utopic lifestyle as a black man, I should be driving around in a Rolls Royce, you know what I'm saying, grilled in platinum gold, diamonds, you know what I'm saying, and I come home to a wife or two wives, you know what I'm saying, looking like Meg Thee Stallion or some shit, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, so I come home to something like that, you know what I mean? And then that's supposed to be paradise in America for a black man, right? And without understanding, like, what
they started sorry to cut you off again, but I gotta say this before I forget. I was watching 60 Minutes on YouTube last night. There was a family that had bought a house in Virginia that was a plantation. It used to be an old plantation house. But what was so crazy about it, there was a white family that wanted to buy a slave shed that was right on the same property. Kind of reminded me of gentrification. The white family wanted to buy that, while the black family, they wanted to buy the slave house. And on 60 Minutes, I want people to go and research a black family that bought a slave house in Virginia on 60 Minutes. They were happy to buy the slave house. They hugged the tree outside. They was happy to buy the slave house. And this white woman, you know, she was, you know, the interviewer, she was, you know, she was asking, how does that make you feel? But they loved it. All the while, the white family wanted to buy the slave. And it's so crazy, they still got this architecture so well kept in America. We so busy trying to be them, but they're trying to be us. That's what I saw in that 60 minutes. I'm like, damn, it's 2022.
Oh yeah, I mean,
you trying to buy a plantation house.
But see, when it comes to that, it's all about the energy. You know, just because somebody passed away, especially if they passed away in a certain way, it don't mean that their energy left that place. You know, and this is something that I think Tariq Nasheed talked about this in Hidden Colors, about how slave masters used to literally, you know, be in the room with the slaves while they was having sex, because it was an energy thing that they was feeding off of. Sometimes they would after they got finished doing it, they would like to sleep in the bed next to them just so they can get that energy. So what makes you think that when it comes to a slave plantation that used to be full of slaves and all that trauma, all that pain, that energy isn't still lingering around on that land?
So what do you think that means, that the white people on 60 Minutes, they wanted to buy the shed?
Yeah, because that's where they slept at.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why would they want to?
I remember. I think Tariq Nasheed was talking about, he was filming either 1804 or something like that, and he had and he ended up filming it on a real plantation, and he was trying to shoot this slave reenactment scene, and a lot of the actors that were you know, playing slaves and stuff like that, a lot of them started to hallucinate.
Well, they said that the ancestors, in the end of days, these ancestors, they want to come through us. But they have seals, even on Stone Mountain, seals that are keeping our ancestors from coming within us and taking over. Like there's a spiritual war that's happening right now.
And the reason why, the reason why is simply because if they do want to come back, they want to come back in a vessel that is ready to rebel. They don't want to come back in a vessel that's still scared of the system. Oh, you know, the man got us down, the white man they want to inhabit a body that's about that action. You know, they want to be on some rebel like Nat Turner. You know, they trying to find some people like that to inhabit.
And they said that a lot of our ancestors have reincarnated right now in this time, because they know that this system is getting ready to fall, and they wanted to see this miraculous event. So you're going to see a lot of old souls being reborn. People have been having dreams. It's going to be something miraculous happening, because our ancestors are going to live through us. They came for this moment, and it's going to be a big shift, man. I hope people are ready.
And right, because with what I do, I get meetings and I give them consultations, and like the ages are getting younger. The ages are getting younger and younger and younger. You know, I'm giving readings to like 18-year-olds and 17-year-olds. You know, talking about how they feel like that the world that they've been put in, that they don't belong in this world, and whatever that that they're supposed to do is so grand, and they're wondering why, you know, their people aren't trying to support them and aren't trying to help them and all of this type of stuff. So you're right.
Do you think there's a connection between the children being attacked, y'all? The children in Texas. Do you think that there's a connection with that and why they're attacking the black family the way they are? Because I've noticed a lot of more children.
I want y'all to keep it on the topic, because people are the link for that. So we have other shows on other things, but I'll just say this about that.
Over the
you know what I'm saying? I know sometimes when people are new to YouTube, they'll you know, they'll just kick me.
No,
I'm saying no. I'm just saying like just for the audience that'll come in, so they wanna, you know, they'll come in for that particular topic. But you know, I let anybody freestyle from time to time. But when you talk about Texas, you know, like even with that, that's why I say like the gender war has affected people of all races. And the reason why I say that is just like it was alleged that the dude may have been a cross-dresser. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And you know, like with social media, and it goes back to commercialism, like I'm saying. Like, people are watching TV, and some people are like, I'm not measuring up. I'll never be the man that society wants me to be. Or, you know, I'm not 6'4". I'm not athletic or whatnot. And, you know, you have a lot of these young dudes, you know what I mean, that are feeling inadequate as men, and they lash out against society. And they want to hurt the smallest and the most weakest of us, which is children. You know what I mean? And so, like, this whole thing about, like, people playing around with, you know, beating down on women, beating down on women, and women beating down on men, it's not a cute thing, because, you know, men shouldn't try to, like, tear down a woman's femininity, and women shouldn't try to tear down a man's masculinity, because these are the type of results. You know what I mean? Because, like, it was something I learned a long time ago. They said you push, no matter how soft or feminine or weak you think a man is, you know, you keep pushing him enough, that man gonna rise up. That spirit of the man in him, it's gonna rise up, and it's gonna strike a deadly blow to the people, to that person, or the people, or society in general. You know what I mean? Because, and I think we have seen that a lot with these mass shootings that's going on, where, you know what I mean, these guys are like loners, they're incels or whatnot, and a lot of that comes from the fact that they're like, you know, they play a video game, they think they gotta be like God of War. Like, you know, I played the video game, they want to be like built like this ultra masculine.
And on the white side, you always saw the school shooter. You always saw you always saw that when it came to that side. When it comes to the black side, you just have humiliation, and that humiliation turns to us harming our own people.
Right.
So on our side, you got the Michael B. Jordan, the one who has to tuck his tail between his legs and just walk, you know, while Lori Harvey got with Jack Harlow, the white wannabe, you know, rapper, the one where if Michael B. Jordan and Jack Harlow got into a fight, you already know who would win. But Lori Harvey, she don't care about that. She cares about which one has the most longevity in her career. And then you got Trouble. You know, Trouble, the Atlanta rapper who just passed away. And word on the street is he died because it was a girl. He was at this girl house, and I don't think, you know, maybe he knew or he didn't know that she actually had a boyfriend, and the boyfriend came and shot him. So he died over a woman.
Wow.
So
they're really
you
making
got
love look like it's just not worth it, man.
Yeah.
They're destroying love with every story, every testimony.
But it's only if you're tapped into the media and you let the media control your life and your perception. You know,
I'm telling you, that Will Smith smack was a strong ass influence, man. It was a ritual that really affected a lot. I'm telling you, as soon as that smack happened, I was going through my breakup. A lot of people that I know going through breakups. You know, it was crazy, man. Like this ritual stuff, we need to tap into our magic. We need to learn who we are. We need to know how this shit is real out here. We gotta learn ourselves. That's the only way.
We're really if y'all seen The Insurgent and Divergent, that's really what this is about. You know, this is about this system trying to categorize different categories, you know, govern, and you know, as long as they can do that, as long as they figure that they can put us in different categories and we just go along with it, it's easy for them to exact these type of plans and exact this type of stuff. But if you know anything about the Orishas, you know, you have, you know, 7 major ones, but those 7 major Orishas have many, many different paths. So you may meet somebody and they're a daughter of Oshun, but they may be a daughter of Oshun of a different path. So you can't categorize her off of the stuff that you think you know about Oshun. And this is the reason why, you know, this system had to come and do away with all of that, because it was too many categories. It was too much variety. You know, it was too much. And they had to narrow it down to, when it comes to black women, you think about the mammy, you think about the harlot, or you think about the old sexually repressed church lady. who's nagging and all that. And when you think about black men, the only type of black men they want you to think want to be with is the drug dealer, the scammer, the athlete, the rapper. You know, people. Yeah, people who aren't really moving and shaking. The people who aren't doing things that's really moving and shaking in the world, on the earth.
I knew. You know? I knew. Sorry to cut you off, but I knew when they destroyed Bill Cosby, that was the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby had a Haru type of image as a doctor who took care of his family, the best TV doctor in America on sitcoms. They destroyed him strategically. And I knew that was the beginning of it. If they can destroy Bill Cosby, then black men was doomed after that.
And not only did that destroy Bill Cosby, the whole thing about college is really what destroyed Bill Cosby. When young people started seeing people like Elon Musk and people, you know, that are the real billionaires that's making this world go round, and none of them graduated from college and got a degree. That's really what kind of threw that out, because Bill Cosby, the main thing that he was promoting was going to college. So now you had a lot of men that were leaving college and they was going to get trades.
That whole college, he really influenced me. Bill Cosby was a big influence because I'm an 80s baby, and when they destroyed him, I was like, wow, what next? Because that, you know, that's what we were clinging on at the time, was being college educated, Black America, you know, Obama. You know, now it's just the highest degree of confusion everywhere. And I know it's all about design. It's all about design. So, BandClap, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Octavius. So, you know.
Can you hear me? I guess he fell off.
Hear you. He fell off for a second.
But yeah, if anybody else out in the crowd want to come up, just hit the link. It's pinned at the top of the chat. So.
And the gender war continues, but you know, I feel like we have to discuss it. We definitely got to discuss it and talk about it.
Number one, the main thing we have to understand who we are outside of this matrix and be happy with that. That's the first thing that we have to do if we want to stop the gender war. We have to be we have to be honest about who we really are outside of this system. You know, if you're somebody and you know you're into a certain thing, or you know, like me, if you're somebody and you represent a certain god or a certain goddess, you know, learn about that mythology. You know, learn about how that person or how that god or goddess move and stuff like that. And even that alone, you're gonna start, because you know, with us, we are who we attract.
They want to move through us, but we have to call on them. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And I see so many women. You know, I give so many women readings, and they always tell me about, you know, when I didn't know who I was, and it was this person. They were always around. They were always the nice guy. They was always that type of person. But because I was trying to be a hot girl, I was trying to be a city girl, I was trying to do this, I was trying to do that, I either did that person wrong, or I just let them. I ignored them, and I got with who I thought was going to make me more popular. And now they in their 30s or in their 40s, and they're getting a reading from me, and I gotta be Iyanla, you know, trying to tell them like, yo, you know, that person that you that you kicked to the curb, that was your soulmate right there. You know, that was your twin flame.
Y'all go and check out. Make sure y'all go and support BandClap's readings, because his readings are so accurate. Also, let me just piggyback on what you said real quick. Yo, it's time for us to wake up, because I don't think that we understand that there's a spiritual war going on. It's a big spiritual war, and a lot of us are not going to be able to shift, that are still in the mundane mind of thinking. So a lot of us are going to be able to receive this information, but those that can, you got to stay away from the fucking TV, man.
Yeah, you do.
You got to stay away from the TV. It all tells lies to the vision. I see it more than ever now. A lot of confusion.
Yeah, I just want to say this. Like, when I was younger, I used to write poetry, right? And you would think that a poet would write or would listen and read other people's poetry, but when I tried doing that, it actually hindered my own creativity. And I think when it comes down to see, even scientifically, on a scientific atheistic point of view, like we're all made differently. Like we have our own fingerprint, and with our own fingerprint, we all also going to have our own imprint on this world, right? And even the way that we love is going to be different, right? And that way that you are made, you know, there's someone that is made to deal with you on a level that you and that person can be cohesive. And one of the things about social media and the media in general, what they do is they give everybody a form of communistic packaging when it comes down to what you should desire from your mate. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, when I say communistic, meaning like it's just common. Like this is what you're supposed to have: a big house, big car, dog, two kids, 4 kids, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Well, now it's mixed relationships.
Yeah, I mean, even however it may come. But what I'm saying is, what they want, what it is that people are not living life to their own drum, right? And that even goes down to the relationships. So that's why some people just have failed relationships in general, because of the fact that
they're looking for love in any type of way, whether it's from white.
No, they're not looking for love. They're looking at it from a Borg perspective. Like, you know what I mean? Meaning, like, you ever watch Star Trek? You had a Borg, and like everybody's going to be taken over by the machine and shit. And that's kind of like what it is. And everybody, like, people are not measuring up to the standards that they see on YouTube or they see on social media in general, Instagram models or whatnot, for the women, and the men, you know, football players, basketball players, pornos, yeah, all of these things, they play a major role in how people feel. Yeah, how people feel they want these things. See, that's the problem.
They chase
people
the fantasy.
And they feel, but these fantasies they have been given. They're not organic. They're not what they genuinely want. And see, that's one of the things about, like, that's one of the reasons why you have, like, you'll see some relationships, man, like they've been together with somebody for like 40 years. And the basis of that relationship, yeah, there was some attraction or whatnot. But you'll notice, like, there's a form of spiritual cohesiveness.
Like the Will Smith, Jada Pinkett?
Yeah, they're spiritually yoked. You know what I'm saying? They're spiritually yoked. They're together in mind. Like I was telling a story when I was in school, when I was in college, you know what I'm saying, I had a girlfriend and I used to ride on my handlebars. The chick looked like Holly Berry, you know what I'm saying? Probably one of the most finest girls at the school. But what it was is the fact that she wanted to have enjoyment and adventure, and that's what I represented to her, like the enjoyment, the adventure, you know, and we were young and shit, and so it worked out very well, right? And whereas if it was now, if like she was living these days and times, like she'll be an Instagram model, you know, lost and probably just out there thinking that, you know, why some millionaire dude don't want her and why she's getting passed around. You know what I mean? Right. And because that's what society's telling her that she should do, right? But not understanding that, like, the beautiful time I had, like almost like a storybook for me and her both had, it was like something out of a storybook, you know what I mean? Because we followed our heart, and you know what I'm saying, and it was a beautiful thing. And what's happening is so many people are not following their heart, and what they want truly in their mind. So I'm, like, when I use the terminology about the poetry, like when I got to a place of silence, like if people talk about meditation, you know what I'm saying? It's, you know, get to a place of silence where is now you can actually hear you. You can hear you speaking. You can feel you. Like even when I used to paint and draw, I didn't like looking at other artists' stuff because I didn't want to have no influence, because when I
Right.
enjoy doing something, it came from my mind. It was something that I wanted to
We
put
don't have no good
atmosphere in the world.
examples. That's
Yeah,
why when I
and
talk about the Sukahana thing, imagine what young men will see when they watch that video that's circulating right now of her twerking on that little boy. It's going to make a lot of young boys grow up to hate black women and to look at black women as nothing more but the lowest of the low.
yeah,
Yeah, and you're right, and that's why you know, I don't want to like toot my own horn, but you know, you have a lot of conscious people, you know, in the community. You know, they call them hotep niggas, and they be like, man, you know, as black people, we need our own media, we need our own movies, we need our own cartoons to show black people, or you know, black skinned, brown skinned people in a more positive Afrocentric type of light. And right now there are programs, and right now there are programs out now like Unreal Engine 5, like Character Creator, like iClone, like Blender, that if you can just take some time out and learn these programs, you can create animations. You can create all you need is a green screen, and you can create Marvel type movies. You can create that stuff in your own backyard. You know, you can create it in your own room now. And you know, as it's looking, I'm like the only person that I know, at least in this space, that's doing animation. You know, that's doing a Afrocentric animation that shows a little black boy and a little black girl doing something positive. You know, not twerking, not, you know, just doing something positive, just being a kid. You know,
those images are powerful because we know how influential images can be. So they know what they're doing. So I thank you so much for that, because we need more of that. We need powerful images because we don't have enough examples. We don't have enough role models, and this is why this is happening. They don't have no one else to look up to.
Yeah, and for so long, we've had to look for Disney. We had to look up to Disney, Pixar, and we had to look up to the fairy tales and all of that. And all of those people are white. The only black person that we had was the Princess and the Frog.
Right.
You know?
And she married a white princess.
So
a white prince.
Yeah, he married a white prince. So when you're a little black girl and you're watching these cartoons and you're watching all of this stuff, and everything royal, everything that means something has a white face on it. Now, you know, it makes sense when you see a girl and she got the black doll and she got the white doll, and they say which one you want to play with, and she go with the white doll because that's all she see. That's all she know.
Right. Influence is
powerful. You know, but then you have people that are trying to reverse it and do something with a black face on it, and you don't hardly get no support.
Wow.
And the reason why is because as black people, we've been on the consuming end for so long. We've never on a massive scale had to be on the production side. So it's like, yeah, we see these dope animations and we see these movies and we see these cartoons, and we don't have a lick of knowledge of knowing how that was made.
It's time for that, because
that was for a reason.
It's a spiritual war, so now it's time for these images. It's really time for these images to manifest, because the spiritual war is here. And I thank God you keep tapping into that, because we need more of these images. We need to teach, and we need more of the spiritual warriors like me, you, Octavius, on the front line, because the shift is here, the spiritual war is here. It's no more time for games.
And I'm telling people right now, the more this metaverse stuff start coming out, the more the tools the more tools that will be at your disposal, so you can create your own movies and create your own cartoons and create your own animations. You know, so you can get caught up in the metaverse stuff if you want to, or you can take these tools that were provided by the technocracy and recreate your world, recreate your universe, where everything that you see around you is black. You know, you got black superheroes, you got black clothing companies, you know, you got black jewelry companies, you got, you know, all of this. You know, you can digitally create a new Black Wall Street, but the physical Black Wall Street, that'll never happen. You know, but that doesn't mean that Yeah, it doesn't mean that there aren't black people out here trying to create things, black owned things, and we just got to support them the same way that
Right.
we
We
would
just need
support
more
Netflix,
exposure.
the same
Right.
the same way that we would support Balenciaga, or the same way
Correct.
that you would support Christian Louboutin. Support Melly Amar. Support Black Sands Entertainment, which is another black cartoon comic book company. Support these companies that's getting it out the mud, and they're trying their best to recreate this world, for their children, and for the children's children. Because Walt Disney, that stuff came out in the 50s, in the 60s, and as you can
And they're
see,
still a slave to those
if you
images.
ask,
Yeah. They're still a slave
yeah,
to
if
those
you ask
images.
yeah,
They are. They
we all
are.
know about Cinderella. We all know about Little Mermaid. We all know about Cinderella. We all know about, and this stuff came out in the 60s.
And Little Mermaid was the real story. She gave up her kingdom, Atlantis, to the prince. That's the real story. Giving up Atlantis. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna continue to be a slave to these images until we create our own.
And then and only then will we be able to put an end to this gender war, because and when you think about back in the day, like back in the 80s, the 90s, even the 70s, when you look at music, and we can just you can use any industry to kind of paint this picture, but since I'm a musician, I like to use music. All of the love songs and the love ballads that came out from the 70s to the 90s, when you think about the families and stuff like that back then, you didn't have such a divide like we got now. And now, if you play a lot of those love ballads and a lot of those love songs now, you get called a simp. Because why would you say I love a hoe? Why would you say you love
Money
these
over
women?
hoes. Money over
Yeah.
hoes. That's the motto.
And then that's a good point. That's a good point. When you talk about the simp thing, and I've heard women even like criticize men for like being a simp, or a dude actually like showing love or care to a woman. And like I said, people in this society, they don't really understand what masculinity truly is, femininity truly is. And you just see it even in the language, like, when it comes down to simping. And like you said, like, I remember in the late 90s and the early 2000s, like it was like, what's going on, John Illuminati? Yeah, I remember back in in those days, it's like, like Ja Rule. Remember Ja Rule, like in the early 2000s, like, what I'm
He
saying?
was
But
like
whatever,
another
whatever,
form
my
of Tupac.
baby. You know what I'm saying? But it was like
Tupac a
songs,
little
like
bit.
it was songs by
DMX.
appreciation of love. Like it was even
of course.
DMX,
Mm-hmm.
appreciation of the love of that woman or whatnot, and that was like a thing, like you see your homeboy, he in love with a chick, it was absolutely normal, like it wasn't nothing criticized, like shit, at least he got a woman to go bring flowers to or some shit,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's like, dudes alone and shit, talk how women ain't shit, you know what I mean? And that's supposed to be some form of masculinity and shit. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you alone. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you alone. You're alone.
Mm-hmm.
No woman's fucking with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You ain't got shit going on. And so, like, it's a lot of that going on, so, but like now it's like people don't even understand where, where they're coming and going with this whole relationship thing. Men don't want to seem like they're in love with any goddamn body. Like even myself, when I got on here, I talked to somebody on the phone and they called me a simp, and or whatever, you know what I mean? And it was just like, well, like,
Right.
even if I am, why do you care? Like if Mr.BandClap, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or John Illuminati, who in the chat, if they were in love, like, dude, like, congratulations, you found somebody. You know what I mean? Hey, do your thing. If you want to bring roses to it, buy candies and all that kind of shit, I would like, as long as you ain't being taken advantage of blindly, I ain't got shit to say. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't
This is
care. You know,
and
let me rock out for a second. Let me say this. And so I don't care. And then, like I said, it's like, you know, people don't understand. Like, okay, women want sound-minded women want to be appreciated. They want to know that they're beautiful and they're valued. And if a woman's contrary to that, she might got some kind of like BDSM fetish or something where she feel like she wants to be, you know, beaten and shit. And then you might be, you know, might be dealing with some mental issues and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So,
Right.
like, you get to guy to put things in perspective and see it for what it is, and then it's like, damn, you know, like, you know, your mind will open up once you start putting things in perspective. And I think what it is like when you do meet, like for a lot of fellas, like if you do meet a woman, let her know that she can be a woman. She ain't gotta put on a show. She ain't gotta like meaning she gotta put on a show and show you that she that bitch, you know, and all that kind of marketing of toxicity to sisters. And same thing you as a man, allow a understand of comfortability. And what I mean by comfortability, that you can be a sweet, kind woman, and I'm going to show you favor in return. And because at the end of the day, it's our thing. Our relationship don't belong to the streets. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where a lot of relationships fail, where some people get conditioned by the fact that they've been out here and abused, and once they find out they start getting into that abuse mode, they get a little more respect, but in the end you still felt because you're not yourself. You know what I mean? You're not yourself. You need to find somebody that allows you to be you at the end of the day. And people tell you from jump that they're not going to accept you for being you. You know what I mean? And what they want. You know what I mean? Like I said, even myself, I wasted a lot of time with certain women. You know what I mean? That I know that, hey man, this shit ain't finna work out at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean, because of that marketing, you know what I mean, the big butt and the smile, that's all that mattered at certain points in my life. And shit, you know, like my mom told me the other day, we have a conversation on something to the similar, similar to what we're talking about now. And you know, she used a reference to the Bible, said the wages of sin of death. And what that means, when she was saying about that, like, you know, there is laws in nature, right? Nature itself has laws. You violate those laws, you're gonna pay for that shit. You eat too much goddamn sugar, you're gonna get diabetes. You know, you fuck around with radiation, you're gonna get cancer. So everything has a cause and effect. And once you violate laws of nature, even if it's like, well, I'm not gonna be feminine, but you're a woman. Like, but masculine men ain't gonna fuck with you. Like, it's just that simple. You're not gonna rewrite the world. You know what I'm saying? You ain't rewriting shit when it comes to nature. Nature's gonna kick you in the ass and kill you before you kill it. So that's one of the things about all that toxic femininity, toxic masculinity that you see online. Like these people that are on here promoting that shit, a lot of them, they got destroyed lives. Their lives are ruined. You know, they're over the hill. You know what I mean? A lot of them. Whereas, like, they did a lot of dumb things in their youth. They wasted their youth. They didn't do the proper things, and now they want to get online and broadcast their pain to other people, so that they can mess up their lives too. Misery loves company at the end of the day too. So, you know, that's all I'm gonna say on that for now. I'll let y'all rock.
Yeah, definitely. Misery
you can come up, John. You can come on up, John. You come on up if you want to come up, John.
It's crazy. You know, we come from an era where, you know, when you was in school and you would go to recess, if it was a girl that you really liked, and you would go, you know, sometimes it's a flower patch outside the school somewhere, and you go and pick her some flowers, and you give her the flowers, and she's like, oh my God, thank you so much. And then you get your first kiss, and now you're just like, yeah, you know, that's how it used to be back in the day. But now, with the way that it's going now, I don't know if y'all seen this, but there's a video out where this 8-year-old girl was being interviewed, and the dude, or it was a lady, she asked the 8-year-old girl, he said, would you rather get married or would you rather have a baby daddy or something like that? And she was like, I'd rather have a baby daddy. I don't want to get married. And she was like, what? She was like, why wouldn't you want to get married? And do you know what this little girl said?
What?
She said, if I get married, then how can I get child support? She said, if I get married, I won't be able to put him on child support. But yeah, I was just saying, if it's that bad to where a 8-year-old girl is saying that I don't want to get married because then I won't be able to get child support, you know, it shows you how effed up this world it really is.
What's up, y'all? I hope y'all enjoyed that video, and if you stayed to the end, I appreciate you. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, I want to redirect you to my Instagram page. I don't promote my Instagram page a lot, but as my subscriber count and things like that rise due to things like shadow banning and stuff like that, I'm hearing that a lot of people aren't getting my notifications when I go live on YouTube and stuff like that. So for all things BandClap TV, my Instagram page and my story are going to have all of the notifications and things like that when it comes to when I'm going live, when I'm going, when I'm releasing videos, when I'm releasing content. Also on my Instagram page, if you're curious about my reviews for my readings and stuff like that, as you can see on my Instagram, I have a lot of different testimonials and stuff like that. For those who don't know of me as an artist, I also have videos of me performing and stuff like that. I'll be putting out more stuff like that very, very soon. So I'm just trying to get as many people right now to go ahead and follow me on Instagram, that is BandClap TV, and also my Facebook and Snapchat, BandClap TV as well. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all, and like I always say, no matter what, you got to stay shining.